Hi everyone, it's Julie Hutchison here from Think, Be, Do Leadership, and I've got a question for you. It's Friday afternoon. Be honest with me. Are the cracks starting to show yet? Are there people in your team that are short with you, or you're short with them, or you've really thought, my goodness, I'm fed up with this already? Because if you have, then don't beat yourself up, because this has been a really hard couple of weeks, and we're only just getting started in how we work remotely, and everybody's trying to get used to the tech, and everybody's trying to get used to the new dynamics of being on Zoom for most of the day, or having to work from home with the kids around. And it's brought up all sorts of challenges. We've seen on Facebook a couple of naked people floating across the screens, haven't we? That's all been good for a giggle. But actually, the reality of this is that it can be quite stressful for your employees if they're working from home, and yourself if you're trying to run a business and keep it together. And those cracks will come because if you don't have a team that is understands how they work together, then they are going to start to struggle with making the right business decisions, being able to engage with each other at length, because that's what we've got to do, have the right business meetings, find ways of really being able to manage those meetings in a way that isn't just everybody turns up like a head on a stick and walks away again and nobody's responsible. I was talking today, a lovely guy, Steve Vather, who we were talking about using online platforms to manage meetings and capture shared ideas and all those things. And it just struck me as how it's not just about getting on Skype or Zoom or something like that. It's how are we all engaging with each other? How do we still get creative? How do we still stay interested? I don't know about you, but there's a big temptation just to click onto something else while you're supposed to be listening in a meeting. You have to hold yourself there, and it's all of those things about how teams work, how people work, and how you keep them engaged and motivated that's actually really more important than just the tech. But that's something that really you need to pay attention to, because if people are feeling drained because they're spending too much time just looking at everybody else's heads, they're not able to interact in the way that you would like them to, then you need to do something about that. You need to be able to look at how are we running the business. And what we've been doing over the last few weeks is looking at what meetings you're having, and making sure that they are the right meetings. Are we having too many? Getting rid of the bits, getting rid of the fluff, and really honing in on what needs to be done, and creating a really clear plan of how you're going to work together as a team. And that's working for businesses who need to make the best use of their time, minimize that amount of time that they're all staring at a screen, but making sure that they can be the maximum productivity that they possibly can be. And that's really important to look at this now, because it is not just as simple as sticking everybody on Zoom or Skype. And there's loads of things you can do that are going to help you to really create productive meetings, productive teams, and a lot of collaborative work that you might miss out on if you don't actually look at how are we working as a team. So if that is something that you're doing, one, give yourself a break, because it is only a week and a bit in. But two, remember that you need to be thinking about it now so that you can plan for the future, because we may be, in the poo at the moment, but this has to go on. We have to get out of that initial urgent assistance, and we have to move on to not business as usual, but new business as usual, how are we going to work in the future? And it isn't going to go back how it was. It's always going to be slightly different. So we need to make sure we get that right now. Anyway, have a wonderful Friday afternoon. Hopefully that makes sense. Give yourselves a break, pat on the back, and remember, if you're feeling a bit stressed out, give us a shout. We're having open meetings there where we're going to be bringing business owners in, so they can be honest, vulnerable, and open with each other in a really safe space. Have a good day. Bye-bye.